Okay, so yeah, this is the steering wheel of the 2016 championship. As you can see, there are many functions and many buttons that we play around. The most important ones are around this area because it's the normal, the ergonomic positions that we arrive a little bit easier with the thumb. So yeah, we have, for example, the G switch, which is controlling the airs and the deployment from the engine, the power unit, when we use the battery on the straight to have the extra power. We have the diff positions to rebalance the car, to have less or more understeer in the car. This is for the mid corner, this is for the entry. We have the overtake button, which gives us at least a little bit of extra power in those moments. We have the radio on-off to talk with the engineers. And in this area we have the pit lane speed limiter to set the car for 80 km an hour when we are in the pit lane. The launch map, which is only for the starts on Sunday morning, on-off. We have here the brake balance at the start of braking, at the end of braking, so there are different parts of the braking area. And here we have the engine braking, so how much the engine brakes on the corners, so it helps you turn. And then here there are a lot of multi-functions that are a little bit more complex because, for example, we can go to interposition, and then once you are in the interposition, on the dash we have the message, and then we change plus or minus whatever position we see in this multifunction. When we are racing, obviously we cannot watch the buttons or the rotary switch and start thinking what it will do to the car. So we do a lot of simulator tests where we can get used to at the beginning of every season. We do a lot of interactions with the steering wheel. First of all, we have the paddles for the gear shift at the back of the steering wheel. So I think there are around 50 to 70 shifts in a lap, and we need to follow. We have here the dash, and there are some lights, some LEDs here that start from blue and arriving to red. And every time that arrive to red, you need to call for another gear. So this is around between 50 and 70 times a lap. And then on the other buttons, let's say that we can change corner to corner, maybe 3 or 4 buttons in a lap. There are always some corners that you have front locking, so maybe you adjust and you go a little bit rearwards with the brake balance for that corner. After you go in that corner, you go back to the normal position, and this happens more or less 2 or 3 times a lap. So let's say that there are a lot of interaction with the steering wheel in the race. Let's say that from my debut in Formula One, the steering wheel changed in a way that everything becomes a little bit easier, and there are much more information on the dash. The size of the steering wheel, the number of buttons on the steering wheel didn't change much. I think it's quite similar to the ones that I drove 15 years ago. But I remember to have only the LEDs for the gear shift and maybe a little number on which gear you were in. Now we have a lot more information, and we are in control of many other aspects of the car. The Formula One cars also are quite different now. There is a lot more technology. There are the hybrid system. We have this rotary switch here where we can control how much energy we deploy from the electrical engine to the car. So we have a limitation of how much we can harvest, which is 2 megajoules a lap from the brakes. So to do that, we have this rotary switch that basically a higher position will stop this deployment on the straight a little bit earlier. So we don't spend that much of the battery. While in the qualifying lap, that we have an unlimited deployment, we go to the maximum, which is normally number 1 in our case, and we can deploy all the electrical engine until the braking point. So we have a lot more power for longer in the qualifying. There is always some things to do, but even if it sounds difficult, when you are in the car, everything comes automatically. Recently, I drove the NSX, and it's something that we have on that car as well. There are 3 modes that you can change from race, from Sport, Sport Plus, and then track. You have you can switch off all the controls, all the traction control, all the stability control, and everything is in your hand. Sometimes on the steering wheel, sometimes in the cockpit area. And then there is the hybrid system that you need to maybe you cannot change like in a Formula 1 car, but you can see on the dash how is recovering the battery, etc. So I think all the information here is all concentrated because we don't have enough space on the Formula 1 car, but it's something that also we see in the Honda road cars.